السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كيف حال؟
Alhamdulillah. What's that word you use? Mumtaz.
ممتاز.
Mumtaz. What does that mean?
It means like perfect, like ممتاز, perfect. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة الحمد لله رب العالمين.
أنا تعبان.
أنا تعبان.
أنا.
أنت.
No, أنا تعبان.
نعم أنت.
Mm-hmm.
طيب.
There we go. That's the extent of my Arabic.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام Ya Allah. Yeah, man, now you made me like, alright. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-anbiya'i wal-mursaleen. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabi. Wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawm ad-din. Amma ba'd. Welcome to Big Bro, Little Bro.
Sup? It's me, Bilal. My name is Bilal.
And Faizan.
You can call me Big B.
Big B.
Cause Big Bro. What?
I was thinking Big B for something else, but alright. Anyways.
What else is Big B? Like Ned Bigby from Ned's Declassified. You ever watch that?
Yeah. I remember that show.
See, TV shows are not like what they used to be back in
No, man. Now they're so aib now. Wallahi, like now, like TV shows, bro, like they're so aib.
What does aib mean?
Aib is like frowned upon. It's frowned upon.
You couldn't even define it. You're just like.
It's like limada, like what are you doing? Like what? Like why? Like it's something like frowned upon. It's something like looked down upon.
Some barbecue chips. I've been getting lectured a lot about my diet.
Mm-hmm.
People telling me I should be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna cut down on my chips. Gonna go from the family size to the regular adult size.
Oh yeah, I could eat this in one sitting by myself.
Right?
It's not that much.
It's not that much.
Wallahi, it's not that much.
But honestly, I'll tell you something. This is what 235.
There's a lot of sodium.
Oh my gosh! Per 50 grams, 270 calories. So like a bag of chips is like 1,200 calories roughly.
Yeah, basically, it's like as much as like a Big Mac meal.
As much as my daily calorie intake. Almost.
Dude, that's like as much as a McDonald's large milkshake. I know this from experience.
Dude, I don't remember the last time I had a McDonald's milkshake.
I had a McDonald's milkshake like 2 weeks ago. I had a large chocolate milkshake.
Don't you love my ringtone thing?
It's low key, a little annoying, but it's okay.
It's only annoying when it's like, hey, listen.
Yeah, when it's like what's going off. Yeah, that's how the day. Okay. But still, all right. So Aib is like.
You want water, by the way?
I'm okay, alhamdulillah. So Aib is like looked down upon, yani. Like, you know how like when someone does something like really like serious and like it's just so like shameful.
Okay.
Right? That's Aib. Right? It's like someone committed zina. Ya Aib shum.
So like my whole life has been aib.
Wanna come on.
My existence is aib.
Wanna come on.
What does that mean?
Like me as well. Like come on is like more or as well. Like let's say for example, if I was supposed to like if we were eating.
Okay.
Right? And I was gonna ask you like if you wanted more food, it'd be like hal turid kaman. Like, do you want more? Right? Or like do you like is it like do you do you want more basically? Kaman is like more or as well. Right? Or like kaman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like let's say if you already know.
I get it.
You already know, yeah.
I'm just like letting you just like do your thing, Yo, I didn't know.
Oh, from before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both, bro. They were like 1,200 for the set for the pair.
What?
Yeah, dude. I used to ball out on it, bro. I did not spare.
I know I was always a one side type of guy.
I had both. I had both, and like the one thing that like around my neck was like even that like costed a few bills.
I don't know. I never got into the whole like luxurious side of things. I just sort of like put my head down and I just liked working. Putting money into projects, that was my thing.
For me, it was more of like an investment. It's an investment because it never loses its value.
Yeah,
Think
it
about
does.
it. No, it doesn't.
Right off the shelf, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Silver,
Stones.
silver and gold and stones.
No, I'm talking like white gold.
Yeah,
Like white gold and I never wore like white gold and silver. Like it doesn't like.
Like it doesn't depreciate as much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Of course, like you gotta like factor in like the goldsmith and all that type of stuff. But you can buy diamonds on like AliExpress.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, you can.
I didn't know that.
You can.
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
You gotta message people privately, but you can actually get diamonds off AliExpress for the low.
Have you ever done that?
I want to try it. I want to try it, bro, and like I want to like
have a diamond business here.
Yeah, have like a straight up like jewelry business here. But I think jewelry business for us is haram, for men. Would it not be? Would it not be?
I don't think selling jewelry is haram. It's if we wear certain types of jewelry, you know.
Yeah, but then wouldn't that be like because we're not even supposed to go close to, sayyat, right? Like.
But what are we promoting exactly? That's sayyat.
Like. Because
we're not promoting men wearing jewelry. We're promoting like women. We'll only have like women in the.
We could, but then
like,
it's like what if like a non-Muslim wants to buy it? Because then we'd be limiting our business to only women. But then it would have to be women run and women shop there because women aren't going to come in where men are working, right? Especially if they're like
work as wholesalers.
Yeah, you could do wholesale. Yeah,
I think wholesaling is the way to go. Then.
Or even like online as well.
I need a toothpick.
I've actually looked into like doing jewelry, like making it like by yourself, and I think to make like a simple piece costs less than $500. But that's like to get it done yourself, to take it to the goldsmith.
And then what can you flip it for?
You could flip it for like I think like 4 or 5 bills or like
100
like 100 or 2 more, right?
Oh, what? That's it?
Well, like starting off, if you're gonna make like small pieces, right? Custom pieces are like worth a lot. Custom pieces is where the real money's at, but then you gotta take a down payment. You gotta do like a whole like 3D model, like make sure it's like on point.
Yeah, and people are still gonna complain about it.
Yeah, because custom pieces, bro, can run up like 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 racks, easily.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never really thought about jewelry as a business. I never found it intriguing enough,
Jewelry as a business could thrive, especially like competing with.
I don't know, man, because the thing is, there's so many people who just don't give a damn. Like fakes look so like, I don't know. I don't really care about.
It's a niche. It's
True.
a niche, and
specialize in your niche, and you can still make a bunch of money. That makes sense.
Of course, because there's always someone.
You only need a few big clients, anyways.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, a few big spenders that spend a few $100,000.
Yeah.
Do that.
That's all you need, yeah.
Keep doing that. Yeah, I guess so.
A kid.
Right, and then you just use the access to support a different business.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so Bismillah, what I wanted to ask you, a very intriguing question.
Intriguing?
Yes.
I am intrigued.
What do you think, and what is your... What do you think about interfaith and interracial marriages?
What do I think? That's a very
not
broad question.
Not what you think, but like what? Okay, so how? Okay, so first let's break it down. I know it's a very loaded question.
It's a very loaded question. I think a lot of things.
So let's say. Yeah, man. Like, there's no other way to put it. I guess.
Yeah, there is.
What is your opinion?
Okay, here I'll ask you the same question, except I'll
on interfaith marriage.
Here.
How do you view it?
What has been your experience with interfaith marriages?
What has been your experience with interfaith marriage?
Well, I've never been married, so I don't know.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Honestly, like interfaith marriage, it's a beautiful thing, and I think more people need to do it.
Why though?
Why? It's because. Why? It's because. What's
I'll play devil's advocate here. Okay.
there's always going to be people of the same race or culture that will stay within their race and culture, right? Living where we live, it's such a huge like diverse place where people can marry, whoever they want.
That's true.
Right? Like I've seen a Lebanese Fijian brother.
Okay.
And I was, what? Like you're Lebanese?
I know
you're half Lebanese, half Fijian. Like that's crazy.
I have cousins who are half Jap, half Fijian. I have cousins who are half Filipino, half Fijian.
Half Filipino, half Fijian. I've seen too.
Yeah.
I've seen half Mexican and Fijian.
Oh yeah, like
I've
half
seen
Filipino, half
white
Fijian is here. We have some here.
Yeah, I've seen all sorts of that, but like Lebanese and Fijian, bro, I've never seen that before. He's a nice guy too.
I have a cousin who married someone from. I don't know what the country is called but they're Kurdish.
They're Kurdish.
Kurdish or whatever.
Oh, so like,
what country is that?
I think that's more towards like Kurdish is like I think like and I could be wrong. It could be like Afghanistan,
Like Kazakhstan.
Turkey. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Like that kind of place.
I've never.
Iraq. I think Iraq
I think it's like
Iraq.
more that area because I think they
Iraq
speak
area.
Farsi.
They speak Farsi? Yeah, they do. They speak Farsi and Arabic as well, but their Arabic is a little different. Because they're not... Yeah.
Well,
Did you know...
honestly, like, Arabic everywhere is different.
Yeah.
Like
in Bilad al-Sham is different, in the Khalij is different.
Masr.
In
Is it Masr?
Masr, yeah.
Yeah.
Masr in Egypt is different. Like
Yeah.
North African area is different as well. It's crazy, bro. Like the Arabic language is so vast and it's so wild.
So, do you know anyone who's like personally, who's been in interfaith? Oh, I guess you.
Me and all three.
There's you.
Me and alhamdulillah, like all three of my brothers as well.
Okay, so have you grown up with like role models who have not been in interfaith marriages? Sorry, not interfaith, but
Interracial?
Yeah, interracial. We'll go into interfaith later, but
interracial marriage. I don't. Who hasn't been in an interracial marriage that I could take as a role model? To be honest, bro, there's not a lot of people from my past that I take as a role model. Thinking back now, not a lot of people know.
I was just thinking like parents or something, you know? Like people who have influenced your life, right?
Yeah, like...
So were both your parents Fijian?
Yes.
Okay. Your father, you said, passed away recently. What do you... Like, growing up, do you think that... How different do you think your life would have been if one of your parents were from a different country? Like, what do you think would have been different?
Wallahi, bro, I think...
In particular? Yeah. Like, name a couple things.
I think it depends. If my dad was of a different race or nation...
Actually, let's talk about that. What do you think would be the difference if your dad was a different race versus your mom a different race?
I think personality-wise, and like I keep being told that like I'm just like my father. Like look. I don't know if that's a
compliment or an insult.
I've been told that like I look like him. You know, like sometimes I act like him and stuff like that. Like I do stuff like him, and I've been
How tall was he?
He was tall. Taller
than you?
No, he wasn't taller than me. maybe like when he was like in his prime, like like 20s and 30s, was like my height.
Really?
He could have been, because mashallah, like he's still quite tall. Like he was quite tall before he passed away. Later on.
Okay.
So, I think if my father was a different race, then I would have turned out differently. If he was still the same height, then yes, I would have been tall as well. But maybe like I would have looked different.
Okay.
I would have been like I know a lot of the times I act like my mom, especially like when it comes to like certain things that she does. I do the same as her, but that's just from growing up with her my whole life. Right, I've picked up on her habits quite a bit. Like for example, cleaning my place, right? If there's just like small little things here and there, oh, the place is dirty,
Interesting.
right? Because that's how she was. She was the same way. Like just.
Was your father not that way?
My father was more chill. My dad.
Maybe see something on the floor, he's like, ah, whatever.
He'd pick it up, but like he wouldn't make like a big deal out of it.
Versus your mom is like, why is this on the floor? Like, was that how she was?
Sometimes. Like you know how like brown moms are.
I don't know. I can already feel the anxiety coming back. Getting a panic attack just sitting here thinking about it, you know?
Seriously, man, I can hear her in my head. Faison, why is this on the floor? Pick it up right now.
Yo, man, I used to have, like, 3 in the morning, my door, like, slammed open. Get up and do the dishes.
Yo! Bro!
3 in the morning, school nights, man, is the worst.
I remember one time, my dad's ex-wife, I was living with them and I left a few dishes in the sink. I think like 2 or 3 dishes I left in the sink. Bro, this lady got so choked at me. She picked up the dishes and she put it on my bed.
Dude, I've had that happen too.
I was choked, bro. I was livid, bro.
I remember
I was livid.
these dishes weren't even mine, and I found a whole like tariya of just like dishes on my bed when I got home, and I was like, "What is this?" She's like, "I needed the sink." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "They weren't my dishes to begin." Like,
so choked, bro. So
yeah,
choked.
man. Honestly,
Wallahi. There's
the
no
traumatic stories I could tell you just on dishes alone, man.
Yeah.
I despise dishes. I will always want to use a dishwasher.
Remind me of my dad's like ex-wife off the records after this. I need to tell you about her. She was just a piece of work, bro. She was a piece of work. If you're watching this, I hope you know I'm still mad at you for what you did.
You said that with a smile, man.
Because I am. Like, I'm actually still mad, bro. Like, remind me to tell you what she did, yo. Like,
Okay.
It's messed up. I'll show you some stuff and you'll be like, this is childish. It's childish, bro. It's
okay, that's childish. Fair. Man, you know what it is? I think just, like, if, you know, on the topic of, like, interracial marriages, like, if anyone has the opportunity of marrying, like, a Fijian person, don't.
I wouldn't say...
obviously, like,
some of
it's
them,
not like I'm saying, like, don't do it, but like be cautious because there's a lot of like baggage that usually tends to come with it.
Yeah. And
especially if you're like into somebody who's very intertwined with their family, right? Like a Fijian person, like most people would say, yeah, someone who's a family man or a family girl is very good, but I would say it's the opposite for the Fijian community, because the thing is, if a boy or girl is very intertwined with their family, especially if they love their mom or dad or something like a lot, right? Your relationship is not going to work. And like you're going to end up having to compete with their parents, with their family, with their sisters. And the thing is, like, when you're in a relationship like that, it's not like that's draining on your mental, right?
Oh, okay, there you go.
There we go.
So, and I know, like, you mean to, like, like, warn good about it and stuff, but it's, like, and I agree with you to some extent.
To some extent, yeah,
right? Yeah. That some of the Fijian community, they can be, like, very, like, family-oriented, which is a good thing, but, like, when you get married...
To the extreme, though.
Yeah, to the extreme. To the point where, like... like your in-laws will come over and your spouse will expect you to do things. If your husband will expect you to do things if you're a girl. And that's actually how marriages can fall apart, is when you have expectations of your wife to please your family. Because in Islam, the wife is not supposed to be pleasing the in-laws, rather to be pleasing the husband and to be obeying him.
Okay. But
unless
if the husband is like, hey, go do this, yeah, right, for my family, is the wife not obligated to do that? Because then you're pleasing the husband. No. Because the husband wants to please the parents and the wife wants to please the husband.
No, what you're doing is you're oppressing your wife by doing that. I don't tell my wife to go and do things from my family. She does things, whatever she does is from her own will. I will not go and tell her, hey, you need to go and do this, or hey, you need to, like, talk to my parents. La, I don't do that, because this is not right. You are not, like, the wife is not there to, like, be, like, so intertwined with your family, right? when you're at the arus, and you're at your own arus, and you hear your parents saying,
What's an arse?
an arus is like a hafla, bro, like a reception,
Oh, okay.
walima.
You know it's called walima in Arabic too.
I know, but like the walima is like the Islamic part of it.
Okay. But arse is just reception.
Yeah, like
Okay.
big party, I guess, or whatever.
All right.
And so you derailed me, bro.
I did derail
You
you. Sorry.
derailed me, ya Allah. But yeah, no, sorry. Like when you're at your reception party, or someone else's, and you hear the groom's mother or father saying, "We haven't lost a daughter. We've gotten a new, or we haven't lost a son. We gained a new daughter." That's a red flag.
Yeah, that's
You
a
better
huge red
pack your
flag.
stuff and you better leave, woman. That you should not be there.
Same way around.
It's the same way around. Wallahi, it's the same way around.
The whole we've gained a son thing is not ideal. Who the heck is not?
It's not ideal.
Is it Vin?
Ya Allah.
Just pause it. Okay, come.
Alright. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So yeah, man, like the whole thing of the reception and how it can also be the other way around of, we haven't lost the son, we've gained a daughter, or we haven't...
Yes. Right. Huge red flag if you hear that. You think that's just for the Fijian community? Or you think that's for like every community?
Bro, wallahi, I think that's for every community. I don't think it's just for the Fijian community.
Because you know what I'm realizing? I think it's like I've observed a lot of cultures, and I find there's a lot of parallels.
Yeah.
So like people who, because like I find it's similar in Pakistani culture or Afghani culture, Bengali culture, where like the parents feel like they're like, yes, parents are owed something, but they're not owed everything, if that makes sense.
No, I understand what you mean. And the captain actually told me before I got married, he gave me some nasiha that your wife isn't there to please your family. She should just be courteous. She doesn't need to do anything more except be courteous. If she goes over to your family's place, she doesn't need to go and wash the dishes or start cleaning or do any of these things.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I agree.
Yeah, she doesn't need to. And this is a big point for the sisters to also think about, is that if you do get married and your husband asks you to do these things, rightfully and Islamically in Shari, you don't have the obligation of doing so. The only obligation you have is to be courteous towards your in-laws, right? And keeping the peace between you and your in-laws, keeping the respect between them is so important, because in one hand, personally, like, you have your wife, you have your mother, and so you need to keep the two of them balanced. And please, for the love of God, don't ever let your wife and your mom live together.
Oh man,
It
that sounds
is
like a
the
recipe for
worst
disaster. You know
thing.
what? I always tell like, I think if I ever get married or whatever, what, am I out of the thing?
No, it's fine. Just like turn towards like the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I ever get married, I'm 100% telling my wife never never listen to my family ever, because I don't know, like, obviously if she wants to do it, but man, it's just, I know that once you give somebody, a little bit, they'll try to take everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. And honestly, bro, like, alhamdulillah, like, I'm grateful that, like, my mom isn't like that, right? Like, alhamdulillah that, like, my mom and my wife have a pretty decent relation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the fact that they've learned to respect each other's boundaries, right? I love my mom very much, and I know in the beginning things were a little rough, just a little, right?
I mean, I'm sure you didn't help contribute to that. Your actions, your
It was
lifestyle.
it was.
Am I right or wrong?
No, my lifestyle, like, previously was terrible. My mom was always stressed out, was making dua and everything, and you you already know, like, whatever, like what went down back then. But yeah, man, like it's so sad to see that some marriages collapse. Some marriages collapse from the foundation because of these things, because of the in-laws coming in, because of
It's
people
something
living
so
together.
simple, you know, something that can be fixed
Yeah.
with just like a simple conversation.
Yeah.
But just people, I don't know. I feel like people lack a sense of, like people lack, what's that? It's this thing like a type of understanding, where they just refuse to like hear the other person out, like, oh hey, your in-laws are actually causing me a lot of stress. I don't want to listen to them, and then I don't know.
They're jahil about it. They're ignorant about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, like, how many times I've seen, like, how many, like, people I've seen kind of just go off the rails in their marriage because of the fact that they live with their families and stuff like that. You know, even a coworker of mine was saying to me that him and his wife live with his family, right, which includes his brothers. And I talked to him about this, and I was like, bro, like, you can't do that. Because the brother-in-law is death. Have you heard that hadith?
The brother-in-law is death?
The brother-in-law is like death.
What does that mean?
The brother-in-law is like death. It's a hadith, sahih. Allah knows best, and I'm probably, like, just telling you, like, the worst part of it, paraphrasing it, that the brother-in-law is like death. Living with them and all that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
so
who's
out of that whole house?
Because who's close? Because who's closer to your husband than his brother?
Oh, to the husband.
Exactly,
Oh, okay. I thought you were thinking
exactly.
that. I thought you were talking. You know what? It's not just that. It's like any third party.
But the thing is, it's like, okay, think about it like this. If you live...
I understand the brother's going to be a lot worse because they're the closest. So, like you'll always listen to, like, your...
Yeah.
At least, like, even if you don't agree with your brother all the time, you'll at least take a second to listen to him.
And it's also about... You don't know, like, if, like, one day you're home and your brother-in-law is there as well, even though you guys are doing your guys' own things, somehow you happen to meet, let's say in the kitchen or like in a common area of the house. The house, mashallah,
he'll try to assert his dominance over the house.
It could be assert dominance, or waswas from the shaitan could come upon the two of you. There's two people, the third is shaitan, sah? And then...
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
It can happen. I've heard of it. Like, like, I'm sure you've heard stories of it happening. Right? It's a terrible thing. But yeah, what's your thing on interfaith marriage?
On interfaith marriage, you know what? I can go off.
Not Islamic, non-Islamic.
No. I know. I can go
like,
off on it. I am a huge advocate of never letting. Yo, man, I combine the two words, never letting.
That's not what I heard, but alright.
What did you hear?
I heard something else.
Okay, I honestly have no idea what you could.
I'll tell you when we're alone, but like
Okay, I am a huge like believer of never letting your kids marry within their culture. Reason being is because I don't know. I want to see the world where there are no more borders and barriers and stuff, right? So the only way for that to happen is to let everyone, marry and, interracially.
But what I mean is interfaith.
Oh no!
Interfaith.
I thought you were talking about interrace.
Interrace. We've kind of already gone over that, but now I want to get your opinion.
I mean, we went over your side and on my side.
Oh, sorry. Afan, I'm asking.
No, it's okay.
No,
it's okay. We can ignore my side.
Ya Allah. That's so Ivy to do.
I know. Yeah, that's just like my 2 cents. I don't like. I think the best way to like stop racism is to get everyone to just like you force your kids to marry someone outside of your race if you can. Not force, but like you say, hey, listen, you know, there's a bunch. If you're Fijian, you'd be like, hey, there's a bunch of people, like Muslim people in. There's a Muslim population in Italy or something.
And there is.
I'm sure there is. There's a Muslim population everywhere.
Muslims used to actually be dominant in Italy,
exactly, right?
And in Andalus as well.
Right, and so, you know, and then eventually, like, language dies out, and eventually it's just Arabic, because the common language between all Muslim people is just Arabic.
That is true, yeah.
Right. So right now, like me, I'm learning Arabic. You're learning Arabic.
Yeah.
Right. You're learning Arabic.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
But she's learning like Fusha though, like.
I'm learning Fusha.
Yeah. I'm learning
Arabic.
I'm learning
Fusha Arabic is the dialect of Arabic that is that the Quran is written in.
It's a dialect that every Arab.
So right now all the modern day Arab languages, they derive from like that Fusha language, Fusha dialect. Sorry.
Yeah. Like all three centers.
He's on.
What? I'm supposed to say Afwan, bro. Yeah.
Calm down.
I'm supposed to say Afwan, bro.
You're supposed to not burp like that.
I didn't burp.
That's
like
very
that.
aib of you, man.
La.
Like my hat. You can have it if you want.
I can have the hat.
Yeah. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm not gonna put this on.
So yeah, تفضل, you were saying.
I think that's pretty much it. You know, like, you know, try your best to get your kids married outside of your race, because at the end of the day, these, like, how many times have you heard stories of, oh no, my asthma. How many times have you heard stories of like a Pakistani like family completely denying like someone, you know, a marriage, even though like there's nothing wrong with